Almost forgot. All right, so yesterday we talked about readers climb the hurdle of hard words by, which you can see the chart behind me. So we talked about chunking the word if you don't know what the word is, thinking about the story. All right, so how does that word fit in the story? Asking, does it look like a word I know? Asking, does it sound like a word I know? And trying out different sounds, so trying to sound it out in different ways until it sounds right. All right, so today we're going to continue working with hard words by using textual clues to figure out the meaning of unfamiliar words. All right, so hopefully you all know the song, The Star-Spangled Banner. All right, so I know we've sung it at some of the I guess you could call them an assembly, or when we get together as a whole school, or if you go to a basketball game or a football game or a baseball game. We are going to begin reading time. I'm going to say that song out loud. I'm not going to sing it for you, okay? So here is the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? All right, so here's my question. What does that song mean? What does that song mean? Go ahead and think about it in your head, and then I'll ask for hands. What does that song mean? All right, does anyone have an idea of what that song is all about? Gabe, go ahead, I saw your hand.
It's the song we do at a lot of places for our country.
Yeah, it's our national anthem, so we sing it quite often. All right, anyone else have an idea of what this song is about? All right, raise your hand if you think it's all about rockets and bombs. If you think the song is all about rockets and bombs. All right, raise your hand if it's something about stripes and stars. About stripes and stars. Yeah, maybe. Okay. All right, so I'm noticing that some of you might be struggling a little bit trying to understand the meaning of this song. So I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'm not totally sure. After all, what is twilight's gleaming? What are ramparts? Here's the thing that I'm thinking. You know these words by heart, or you have the song pretty almost memorized, and you sing them with gusto, yet you don't really know what the song is about. You're probably wondering, what's the point? What does this have to do with our reading unit? Okay, so today I want to teach you that when readers are flying through parts of a book and don't know what is happening, they need to use their grit. They need to say to themselves, hold on, and figure out the hard words. Authors sometimes leave clues to help readers figure out tricky words. So that means today we are going to be detectives and try and figure out what hard words mean by looking at the clues that authors leave us, okay? So we have to get in the mindset of being a detective. All right, so I know you already work with the letters and also think about the gist of what a sentence means. But authors leave other clues to help you figure out the tricky words. Authors sometimes actually give readers a synonym. Who knows what a synonym is? What's a synonym? What's a synonym? A word that means the what? Gabe, go ahead.
A word that means the same word as in our word.
Yeah, so the synonyms mean they mean the same. So tiny and small are both synonyms. They both mean the same thing. All right, they could also, or they say not, and either give the reader an antonym. What is an antonym? If synonym means the same, what is an antonym? Go ahead, Paxton.
An antonym means the opposite.
Yeah, it means the opposite for, so like small and huge. Those mean the opposite of each other. All right, or they tell what a word does not mean. And sometimes the author simply tells you what the word means. All right, so let me go ahead and show you guys this list. Hopefully my camera plugged in. It did not. Okay. So clues authors leave readers to solve tricky words. And this chart is on your guys' canvas for today. All right, so authors might give the gist, the synonym, the antonym, or the explanation. So if they give you the gist, what's happening in that part. If they give you the synonym, a word that means the same thing. An antonym, a word that means the opposite. An explanation tells what the word means. All right, so let's look at a line from Stone Fox and try to figure out this hard word that the author wants us to figure out. So let me go ahead and pull that out. All right, so let me read you the sentence. This is not a race for amateurs. Some of the best dog teams in the Northwest will be entering. So I'm thinking, what does amateurs mean? Amateurs is a tricky word. So I'm going to try and figure out what clues the author has given the reader. All right, so we need to put our detective hats back on and try and figure out what clues the author left for us. All right, so let's look back at our chart. Did he give us the gist, the synonym, the antonym, or the explanation? Let's think. Who can point out something in this sentence that might tell us what this word means? Are there any clues you see in this sentence? Are there any clues you see in this sentence that might help us understand? Any clues? Oh. Any clues? Anything that you think might help us? Go ahead, Gabe.
Is it the explanation?
I think it is, might be the explanation. All right, and so I'm going to look for the clue. And so the clue I see is not. Do you guys all see that word not? It's not a race for amateurs. All right, so I love seeing the thumbs. All right, and then I'm going to look for my second clue the author left me to try and help me figure out what amateurs mean. All right, so some of the best dog teams, okay, in the Northwest. All right, so this race is not for amateurs, and the people who are entering this race are the best dog teams in the Northwest. So does that kind of help me try and figure out what amateurs means? If I know if the race is not for an amateur and the people in the race are the best in the Northwest. Kind of rhymes there. All right, so someone raised their hand. What do you think amateur means? What do you think amateur means? Gabe, go ahead.
Like a little good.
Say that one more time.
Like just a little bit good.
Yeah, so a little bit good. So he's probably not experienced either, right? All right, so he's probably a beginner because they told him it's not for an amateur. So someone who is a beginner in the activity. So I'll go ahead and put that. So I'm going to write amateur.
An amateur is someone who either tries to cheat to get the money or just sits around and like complains.
So it's someone who is not experienced. Okay, so I know I can find that because the author tells me that the people who are in the race are the best, and that little Willie, because they said it's not a race for amateurs, and the people in that race are the best. Does that kind of make sense?
Not the best dog teams in the Northwest.
Yep, so Little Willie doesn't even have a dog team. So we can look to see the actual words of the text that Gardner, the author, is giving us some clues. He tells us that the dogs in the race are the best dog teams and that amateurs don't enter the race. He hints at the fact that amateur teams are the opposite. They are not the best trained. So would you agree here that Gardner left readers some clues by using contrasting words or antonyms? Does that make sense? Because he told us it's not. And let me see, do you agree that he gave us an antonym? Let me see, I see Gabe's thumb. I see Paxton's thumb. I see Charlie's thumb. I see Niley's thumb and Kamaya's thumb. I don't see some other people's thumbs. All right. So today we talked about searching for clues to figure out what words mean. So we are detectives when we do that. And using context clues or textual clues to figure out pronouns. Okay, so that's what we talked about today. So I'll go ahead and show you guys your independent work, okay?